Hello everyone, my name is Sheffrey. Welcome back to some more Satisfactory. And today it's time to finish off that Electromagnetic Control Rod Factory that we started last time. We only have left the constructors and the assemblers. It's still a couple hundred machines left to place, but we've got some blueprints and it's actually going to be a whole lot easier than you think. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys once we get back over there to the factory is that I did some actual load balancing. I think you guys would be impressed, and I'll show you how it's done. I mean, if you're used to it, then you'll be like, hey, look at you go. And if you're not used to it, then maybe you'll learn a thing or two. But thank you guys again for coming back for another episode. I appreciate you here to support the channel. Those who are subscribed to our Patreon and our YouTube channel membership, I appreciate you guys. If you want to join the board of cool people here, you can sign up to one of those two. Link is down below. You can get your name on here in the beginning of the episode. Without further ado, let's head on over to our little factory up in the rocky sand desert. And we're going to do some quick wire, some copper sheets and wires, some iron pipe, and the assemblers, because I ran out of room on my to-do list, for AI limiters, stators, and the electromagnetic control rods. Alright, we're here, we're back at the old electro fuel rod factory. So I did do a couple things, like just sort of like decorations in between episodes. I tried to do like just wanted to like frame in the pipes because it's kind of right where the train goes through. So the pipes are all hooked up now. Everyone's got their water. All the input pipes are hooked up minus half the iron pipes because, I mean, we don't need half of those yet. I try not to get run over by this train here as I show you guys this cool little train tunnel that I made with like a little walkway all along the side. I thought this was just kind of a cool, neat little touch. Comes in through a door here. And then now you're in the factory. That's pretty cool, right? I think it looks good. So we do have the lifts. Nothing is actually hooked up yet. Just the lifts are there. So we've got it still marked out. I do need to change these into basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking because we have 5 quick wire lines upstairs, or 5 karium lines upstairs that we need. And we have 3. So we need to turn those 3 into 5. Now, doing a 3 to 5 load balancer is super confusing. I even tried it and I was like, I'm just gonna not. So I'm doing the 2 to 5 instead, which is just monstrously easier. The only thing I have to do first is turn 3 to 2, which is actually pretty straightforward. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a storage bin off the end of each of these, just for like a unloading buffer. And then they're going to feed into this system pretty much right here. There's going to be one of the storage bins goes into this merger, one of the storage bins goes into this merger, and then the other storage bin gets split right into this splitter right here, which feeds those 2 mergers. So it'll turn 3 lines of what will eventually be 400 into 2 lines of 600. And now for the best part of all, the 2 to 5 load balancer, which is this thing right here. I kind of did it so it was like actually here, let me put my hover pack back on here. So I made it its own little like marked out area so that I can actually go fit into the factory a little bit better. And obviously you could make this a whole lot tighter than it actually is, but I wanted to make it more open ones because this is one of the first actual like load balancers I've ever had to build. And 2, it just will hopefully make it a little bit easier to follow along with as I'm showing it to you guys. So you have your 2 lines coming up here. I marked them out. 600 per minute. Karium coming up here. They both feed into splitters. So I'll start on the left-hand side here. Feeds into a splitter, which one goes up and around. Goes into. They both feed in. Well, they both feed into basically its upline, splitter, and then merger. And so they both split off from each other. Like this line splits off to go into that merger. But this line splits off to go into this merger. So basically you're splitting them and merging them with each other. It's kind of just load balancing themselves. And then the one on the back here, you actually get an extra splitter on this side. So you're actually setting it, because there would be a little bit extra on this side because of the way it splits. It splits it across, goes back over into the merger here. And does the same thing. It just splits it back into this line to make it all even. And then on the back side, you have your 5 lines of 240. Hopefully that makes some sort of sense. If not, I'll try and like float around it ever so slowly here. Maybe you guys can just, get a good look at it and maybe be able to follow along for yourself if you're trying to do it. If not, I have already had this done. If you want to follow along, it's episode 27 start, I believe. This will already be done for you, and you can just start basically from where I'm about to jump into, which is we've marked out an area for 30 iron pipe constructors, 60 wire constructors there in the back, and then the remaining, I think it's 75, but I'm actually going to bump it to 80. We are going to have 80 constructors here in the back. And then the other thing that we still have to do, I didn't worry about it yet until I wanted to make sure you guys are actually able to see it. These 5 lines are going to get attached into lifts, go into the ceiling, and they're going to feed into those 5 lifts right there. And those are all connected to our karium lines upstairs. But before we do that, we'll go ahead and we'll do our 30 iron pipe constructors. I'll take that sign away. And we're going to grab a blueprint that I made, which is under my constructors, my super organized blueprint list here. So before we did the 8, the 5, the 3, and the 10. So now I also have a 10 constructor manifold stacking. So what this is I'll show you here. As you can see, I put a floor right directly above it, just giving it enough clearance so it's not like crazy low. And then so basically what this allows you to do is you can then stack this or just the 10 without the roof on top of it again. And that's hence the whole stacking name. But I want to be able to nudge it into position here because it actually sits in this asphalt area properly. Go right there. And the only problem I just realized is I have it facing the wrong way. So I'm going to turn around really quick. There we go. So there's our 10. And then we're going to switch to blueprint building mode. And then we're going to snap this on top. But I'm actually going to face it this way. So that this one can be fed from below. And then I can put a lift on this side. And it'll keep just taking the iron ingots all the way through. Yeah. Okay, so then we're going to come up one more to the top here. And yes, there is just enough room for this. But I actually don't need the stacker on top of this. So we just grab our 10 constructor manifold here. Place it like that. And then we're going to stick our, like I said, we'll put lifts in between everybody here. It should be facing just the right way where it wouldn't clip into each other. That clips a little bit, but that's okay. I can always move it over a little bit if I need to. So that is our 30 constructors for iron pipe. Now I didn't actually need 30, because I only needed actually 27, which means I'm going to underclock 6 of them by 50%, and that'll take away the 3. I didn't set these first. Whoops. Alright, so now those are set. The only other thing I need to worry about is, I think actually, are these going again? Okay, so we'll go, this is actually wrong. This is, unless I wanted to split them from down below. Actually, I think I have to, right? Can the output come this way too? It does, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have to split them down below and then bring them up. Alright, there we go. That looks pretty cool, actually. So I got the merger set here in the middle. So that lift is feeding in there. So basically the top layer is going to feed into this line, and then I did the same thing on the back side with lift going down there. And so that means this one right here in the bottom, this merger, is going to have 675 pipes per minute coming out of there. So good thing I have Mark V conveyor belts everywhere in here. So that is the iron pipes done. That's technically off the to-do list already. That's pretty crazy. And that is the beautiful part of using blueprints, is we can make a giant stack of 30 constructors in about 5 minutes. Alright, pretty comfortable with how that's looking, so I think now we can move on to the 60 wire constructors, which I'm basically going to do the exact same thing. We're going to take, but I set myself up some blueprints this time. We're going to take the 10 constructor stack copper wire. We're going to go on over here. Find where I want to put it. I want to put it probably going maybe this way. See how much room I actually have to work with here. Yes, I think I may turn these ones We'll go this direction. But since the copper is coming from over there, I'm actually going to turn them to be this way. Then the other one, I'll just give a little tiny gap in between. So I actually know where things are going. Just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing where we stack them on top here. But it's going to be in reverse. Although I think this one's a slightly more complicated than the other one. Okay, never mind. So each group of 30 will get 450. And then the only problem will be the output, where each group wants to output 900. So I'll probably have to keep them separated in stacks going that way, but that should be okay. Just realized I didn't put down my stacker blueprint. I put down the wrong one. Copper wire stacking. There we go. Another one on top of you. And then I don't need the stacking one here on the end. So that'll be the non-stacker one here. There we go. And that is 60 constructors down for copper wire. Man, that's so much, like, blueprints, night and day difference in playing this game without them. So the fun part about this one either is I don't have to do any underclocking or overclocking, and they're already set to do, I set them all to do copper wire already. So those are ready to go. So basically, like I was saying, is we'll connect the stack of 3 splitters, and then we'll just connect them all together. So basically it creates one big long line, and then we'll do the same, well, just do the same thing twice. And then since we need an output of 1800, that means I think what I'll do, split that into 3 groups of 600. So maybe I'll just like join 2 of them together at a time. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Actually, that's super easy too, because I have them facing the same way. I can just do this. And that'll have 3 lines of 600 coming out this side. Perfect. Alright, there we go. I just took a second to figure out how I was actually going to feed this tower properly. So this will be the one line of 450 copper ingots coming into this splitter right here. And then it splits into, so each of these splitters goes to, one splitter goes to this side, one splitter goes to this one, another one goes up to the top floor, another one goes up to the top floor. It won't be like perfectly load balanced here. It'll definitely prioritize this floor. Actually, wait, no. What would it it'll prioritize the middle floor, I suppose, first then. Actually, no. Yeah, it'll prioritize like middle floor, and then it'll balance between the 2 top and bottom floors. So that should be okay. I'm not gonna lie, this factory's looking pretty good already. I'm liking the way it's coming together. I feel like I may actually put like walls and stuff on this one and really finish this one up, put in some lights and everything. This factory is gonna look pretty neat. I think it looks pretty good already. So we're gonna let I did hook the copper up from down below, so that is bringing the copper wire over from the 24 copper refineries down below. And I have not hooked up the iron yet to the iron outputs, though I need to turn, I have all 5 of them kind of coming up right now. I need to figure out how I'm going to split this up. So yeah, I got a little too excited with how easy this was to set up. So these are actually going to have to be, I'll have to figure out how to feed these properly, because I need to be able to bring up 2,700 iron ingots into this little tower here, which means, no, all of these things cannot just be linked together. The output can probably be linked together. Yeah, the outputs can all be linked together in one. So the mergers were fine, the splitters were not. So because I am basically the smartest man alive, and no one can really ever argue that point, I figured it out that I can basically, if I downclock the 2 on the end of every line, so these 2, and these 2, I downclock them all by 50%, then that should give me the total of 675 steel pipes that I need, and that will allow me to take each, there's 6 lines of the iron ingots coming up from down below, That means I can basically just take each line and plug it into one set of constructors here, and we should be good to go. So much easier than I thought it was going to be. I actually kind of panicked a little bit, but it's actually so much easier than I thought. And especially since they're already turned, that means I don't even have to stack them all on the one side. I can even go kind of back and forth. Go one on this side. And so we'll grab a lift. Connect it up there, and there's another line. So that's basically going to be all of them. Let me just double check my numbers here. It is, yeah. So each floor is going to make 225 steel pipe. And then that'll come together in the very bottom, and that'll be our 675. Cool. All right, that works. So now we can go ahead and finish hooking all these. So basically, you're going to do the same thing for each of these. Everyone's going to get a line. Everyone's going to get hooked. Oh, that's not where that was supposed to go. Everyone's going to get a lift. The line feed in there, and then we'll go down below to where all those floor holes are, and we'll connect those up to the iron ingots coming up. All right, so that finishes copper wire and the iron pipes. So now we just got to run over here and do basically the same thing again for our copper sheets, but I believe I have to do 80. It wasn't technically 80, but I just boosted it. It's actually marked here. It was supposed to be 75, but I think I'm going to do 80 just so I can do like my nice stacks. Let me double check my numbers here. Okay, so I think this will actually work out nicely since I could do 80 and there's 4 of those. Basically, I do 4 double stacks of 20 or sorry, 4 double stacks of 10, so like 4 sets of 20. I think that'll probably work here. Let me grab my, so this is for quick wire, right? So this is the stacker. Take it off blueprint mode here. Figure out where we actually want to put these. So we want to put 3 of them in here, right? So we're going to go, I don't need to take up all the space if I don't need to. Alright, sorry to skip ahead on you on the quick wire one. I just had to make sure they all actually fit. So I went from where I had marked it on the end here by my sign and went 3 in on this side. And then I think I had 2 or 3, I think it was 3 left on the very end. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 40 of our 80. So now we're just going to grab our other blueprint, our stacker, but not with the lid on it. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are all facing the wrong way, aren't they? Nope. Okay, we're good. They are facing the wrong way. They're supposed to be facing opposite direction of the ones down below, so I can merge them all together. So we actually, whoops, want it to be facing like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's what I wanted to be facing. My bad. I was facing the wrong way before. Put those back in. Perfect. And then the easy one is you can put all these mergers together. Although then I'm going to figure out how they're all going to go together in the end anyway. So I'll just wait for that for now. But these are all set to do quick wire. Now this also is going to be having... I just lied to you. I'm very sorry. The outputs cannot be connected all in one. Okay, that was silly. I guess my copper sheet thing didn't actually apply. I must have not saved it properly. But anyway, now that we got those set up again, like I was saying before, the mergers can be put together. I was thinking of the quick wire ones that can be put together. The only thing you're going to want to keep in mind is you're going to have to merge the ones on the back side together when it's all done. So we'll get those all just linked up for now. Oops, that's not where that goes. And then on that back side, I'll have to add in some more mergers just to make it all one line together. And that was why I left actually myself the one extra space on this side, because this is where a lot of the splitters are going to be coming in from. And I have to bring in 1,500 copper sheets to this. So the nice part is I can just kind of split it. I could take these 4. I could merge 2 of them together to make 750 each. And then just feed 750 onto these lines here. And I think that's probably what I'll do, just to keep things kind of easy for myself. Alright, there we go. Things are hooked up now. At least so the copper, they're not hooked up to power or anything yet, but I did get the copper lines coming over. So each one of our 4 groups of refineries here, they feed into a splitter here, which feeds basically each one feeds one of the blueprints, which actually worked out really nicely. And in order to get it to do that, on the very end and only on the top, on these back two along the top here, you downclock those to do 3.75 per minute. And then it should be one line from this merger will be, oh, I guess technically, yeah, I could have done it all in one. Let me do it all in one. This would technically be 325 on each line though, but I wanted to actually merge these into one. Okay, so that was a couple mistakes made there, but we are now done the copper sheet and the wire part of this build. Now we can pop upstairs, do the quick wire build, which is actually pretty easy. 50 constructors here for quick wire. The only thing that's going to be a little complicated is the output numbers. So the input numbers, super easy. It's 600. We're basically going to take all these, we're going to merge them together, and I'll take the 600 from that these are going to make, and I'll put them into the 50 constructors of the quick wire here. But then the output is going to be 3,000 quick wire. So each, I'm going to do this in what? Actually, I guess I could do it in groups of 5. Yeah. So each group of 5 is going to get hooked up to one of these. And then each group of 5 is going to output 3,000 divided by 5, 600. Okay, so that'll be pretty easy. Let me take this out here. We'll grab... I guess I technically don't need to stack them here, I don't think. I can probably put them all kind of going down this way. Yeah, so let me see if I can get 5 of these in here. So we go 1. I want them to stack right next to each other. 2. Yeah, definitely not. Because I can already see we're not fitting all these in here. So I'll have to stack them. I'll probably do like 3 on the bottom along here, and then I'll just stack 2 on top. There, see, that wasn't so hard. Now I just have a little bit of an open gap over here for, you know, any activities or anything I want to do. Or I can always just take that off if I really wanted to as well. So basically, like I was saying, each one of these, each merger is going to stay separated because it's going to be making so much quick wire. But the entire thing can technically be fed by like the same splitter line if you wanted to. So I think what I'll do is I will turn the splitter on the ends to be like this, and that way I can put a lift on this side like that. I'll just bring it out a little bit. There we go, just so it's a little bit cleaner. And then that way I can actually feed the entire system as a manifold line. I'll do the same thing. Actually, I guess it's gonna be a little, I'll do it back on the outside here. Alright, there we go. Simple little manifold system. All the quick wire will be fed in from this side over here. And it'll feed every single set of manifold splitter we have set up here. And then we'll just have to send all these merger lines down by themselves. Which is not these are the merger lines. I'll figure out how to kind of cleanly put this together. So I think probably what I'll end up actually doing is I'll just do this. So that I can put a lift on this one. Bring it to right there. And actually bring it up to the proper height. Would help if I would actually set the lift properly. Oh my god. There we go, finally. Okay, so that's what we're going to do there, and then we'll bring the other one from underneath. Just like that, and then we'll have 2 lines coming from there, 2 lines coming from there, and 1 from over there. Okay, so let's kind of jump ahead to having all those connected. I'll connect up the karium mergers to this line as well. And then we can hop on into the assemblers. Thank God. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Hooking this all up to power was a pain in my butt. But hey, it's done. It's all working. The only thing we have left now to do to finish off the episode is this whack load of assemblers we still have to put down. We've got 30 assemblers for AI limiters. We've got 45 assemblers for stators. And we've got about 40 assemblers for electro rods. So we're probably going to end up doing some stacking here because, as you can tell, there's clearly not enough room for 100 assemblers in this last little block here. But the rest of this should be pretty straightforward. Do you want to know why? Because it's just hooking belts up and everything's pretty straightforward from here. So let's get our assemblers down. We'll get our belts hooked up and we'll go cry ourselves to sleep. I mean, we'll call this an episode. Alright, so since we're going to need to do some stacking here, I went ahead and I made an assembler blueprint that's stackable. So, since these are going to be 30 and 45, I can do these in sets of 5. So I'm going to do I'll do 15 maybe if I can get them to actually fit going down the line here. So we're going to grab our set of stacking 3 here. I'm going to start from right about here. Just want to make sure I leave myself enough room on the outside here. So we'll put that one there. And then this one, that's going to be for the stators. And basically go more or less right next to it. Actually, I think I put in just perfect enough room here. So we're going to go, so we need 5 of these. Oh my god, it's like I planned this. Look at that. It's 2 around the outside and 2 around the back. This is actually just so perfect. So there is gaps in between, as you can see on the machines down below. That's not a big deal to me, but I'll have to kind of try and figure out a better way of putting that blueprint together. Or a better way of putting it together in the future, is what I should have said. So there is 15 on both sides. That means I can go to blueprint. We'll grab our non-stacking here. We'll make sure they're facing the same direction. Because this is eventually going to make 225 stators that we want to put all together. Or sorry, no, this one's the AI limiters. This makes 150 AI limiters we want to put all together. So that would be the AI limiter side done. And now we're going to come to this side. We're going to do the same thing. Grab these fat stacks. Actually, wait, no, we want the stackable one here. My bad. Alright, there we, wow, what a sea of assemblers we got here. So we got 15 on, or 30 on this side, 45 on this side, 15 on each little section here. So those will be all ready to go. We're just going to hook those all up together. The only ones we can't, so like all the mergers of everyone can be hooked up. The only ones that are going to have to, and the copper sheets ones can stay separated or can stay on one line. So we'll say this side's what the AI limiters. We'll go add limiter. Gets copper sheets and quick wire. So we'll have one of these will get fed from, we'll just have to make a splitter for the copper sheets that are coming from down below. And those can all feed into there. Unless, and it ends up being a little bit cleaner to put it up LN1. How many what I got from there? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, no, it wouldn't really split up properly. So I'll just merge them all together down there, which I think I did. And then we'll just split it up into, I think if I hit it 1, actually, yeah, so that'll be pretty easy. So we'll go a floor hole up here. We'll get a splitter in. And then I'll grab a lift. Actually, I'm going to bring it out a little more just so it's not clipping to the ground. There we go. So that'll be the copper wire for all the AI limiters. And then the only, oh, I think I need to bring that down a little bit. And the only thing I need to be able to attach and figure out my numbers wise is how many quick wire things I'm bringing over. That should be the right level now. Perfect. Okay, so I have 5 groups of quick wire, or 5 lines of quick wire coming over here. And I have 30 assemblers. So 30 by 5 is 6. So every 6 assemblers, so like every group like this, can be fed by 1 line of quick wire. So essentially, I can do this and not connect all, but just connect up some of the groups of them. This is going to make this a little complicated in some spots, but we'll figure it out. Oh, I didn't realize just how much belt work that was going to entail. But my god, what a cool looking factory, right? This is probably the most alive feeling factory, if that makes sense, that I've built to date so far. Also, I really like stacking all the machines together and kind of leaving it open. It makes this, like, this room is going to feel so full. It's going to be great. And then, so we got all our constructors back here, our assemblers back here, our refineries back there. This factory is looking pretty awesome. Now, I did go ahead and I added another layer up on top of the assemblers here because I quite obviously ran out of room for what I still need is the 40 assemblers for electro rods. It is technically 37.5, but I'm going to do 40 just to make it nice and even and clean, just like we've been doing down here. And I think what I'll actually do is I think I've got room for it. I'll do a line of 10, another line of 10, and I'll just double stack them. That should work, right? So if we go probably from right, let's go our blueprints here. Maybe doing 10. So I want my assemblers. I'll do like 2 3s and 2 2s. That'll give me 10. Yeah. There we go. I actually ended up moving it down, so I started it down from that side, and I left myself a little bit extra room here because that way I can then add, you know, some way to actually get up here, because right now it's just platform to platform. You'd have to kind of use a jetpack to get around. I mean, we do have elevators coming in 1.1, which I'm pretty excited about, but I don't want to build with like elevators in mind. I kind of want to just have like a stairwell or something to be able to get up here. So that is the 10 that I'm going to need. And then, so now I'm just going to need to stack 10 more on top of that and 10 on the other side to give us a total of 20. There we go, 20 assemblers. And also I realized I need this extra space here in order to give myself a little bit of storage with probably a dimensional depot on top. I don't think you use electromagnetic control rods for too much crafting. These are basically being made to go into other recipes in the future. I find they're more made, they're designed for like putting together other components in the game. So we're just going to get all these linked up now. Get everything linked up from down below because everything is just the one belt. It's actually a pretty simple manifold system here. So I'm going to grab a splitter here. This will be for the bottoms. Fun fact, I was panicking, being like, where on earth is the electromagnetic control rod recipe? I hadn't unlocked it yet. I have to unlock nuclear power. So now that we got that done, now we can actually put it on.
Milestone reached. The nuclear power plant produces dangerous radioactive nuclear waste. Fix-It reminds you that any extra limbs resulting from exposure to radiation are also contracted to work on project assembly.
Yeah.
Fix-It also reminds you that willful exposure to radiation will not result in any bonuses regardless of how many functional limbs it produces. Project part number 7, the magnetic field generator, should enter production as soon as possible. Any unnecessary delays will be noted.
Yeah, that was my bad. Totally forgot to unlock that. Okay, let's go back to the factory. I've pretty much got everything hooked up now. Now, thanks to my good, exhaustingly long amount of time hooking up belts. And we should be able to turn on these electromagnetic control rods and be done with the episode. Hooray! I just wanted to take a second to appreciate this factory and how insane this looks. But also, at the same time, so unbelievably clean. Like, with the hundreds and hundreds of machines that are in here, for it to look this clean, pretty nice. I'm pretty proud of this one. If you guys have any like cool design ideas or maybe like some colors or something I could use, let me know in the comments down below. I think I'll definitely take the time to decorate this one. This one looks cool. All right, let's get these electromagnetic control rods set now that I actually have the proper recipe. So we're going to copy the settings here. We're going to paste it on everybody. I don't know why no one's actually getting fed in from the lines yet. Oh, I didn't actually hook the inputs up yet. That's why. But yeah, let's get these hooked up to power. So this one right here, this is my output. This will be my 150 electromagnetic control rods. Technically right now, we're only going to get 75 because we're not running enough karium. But that should be everything. And then my input lines are all on the back. And that is where I just have to hook up these stators and the AI limiters from down below. Now, the way I'm going to do it, since I basically set this to be a full manifold system, is I actually only have to feed this side. Okay, so the way that it's fed, the one line can be there, and then it'll feed up there, and the other one will feed up, and it'll go, and then I've got to wrap around on the back side so that everything can just be fed by... Oh, that's not connected. That would have confused me. Okay, so that means... Where's my outputs? We got stators right here, and AI limiters right here. Oh, this worked out perfectly. So we'll grab our lift here. Grab this one. Bring it around a little bit. Man, that save is starting to slow down just ever so slightly. Alright, hookups are complete. I mean, stators are coming up. AI limiters are coming up. And I just gotta actually put the things on here. Just copy and pasting onto everybody, because I forgot to set this up as a blueprint. And I gotta do this like 30 times. But that is everybody. We can get rid of that now. I thought that was, I had to unlock the recipe, but I did not. So there is our electromagnetic control rods. Hey, look at that. Give me 75/150 of them eventually. Like I said, I really like the way this factory came together, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you leave a like and comment down below. Maybe check out some of the other episodes in the series if you're not caught up yet and you're just kind of finding us now. We're not too crazy. I think we're like we're under 30 episodes, so it's nothing too bad so far. But yeah, thank you guys again for hanging out for another one. I think this one was really cool. I am going to dial it back. I think over the next couple episodes, we'll do just some easier stuff. I need to overhaul my copper setup and my original builds, my original copper and my original iron. I think I'm going to go ahead and overhaul those over the next couple of episodes. So come hang out for just a little simple kickback. We'll take it a little bit easier. These definitely have been some more advanced factories we've been putting together as of late. So time to take a little bit of a break. We'll take it easy. So make sure you guys come back for that, and then pretty soon we'll be heading into the heat sink and cooling system build that I have planned. It's also going to be here, the Red Sand Desert, or Red Rocky Sand Desert, whatever it's called. But other than that, thank you guys again, and I'll see you in the next one.